great parent. Now, parents, your children learn their organizational skills from you. So if they see you taking notes and keeping memo pads and setting goals and creating lists, they're going to follow suit. Not only does it help with their organizational skills, it helps with handwriting. Our parents, your children learn their organizational skills from you. So if they see you taking notes and keeping memo pads and setting goals and creating lists, they're going to follow suit. All right. Also, another thing that we'll need for it is your school information. That's also your roadmap information. Schools send, information via telephone or email. So one thing that I'm a Star has encountered as an organization when we come out to reach parents, some of the numbers are disconnected or the emails bounce back to us. So please, please, please make sure that if you change your address, your phone number, or have an email, you give it to the school as soon as possible. Otherwise, the correspondence gets lost in the atmosphere and there's no way to keep you up to date on important information that gets sent through the school. Set a schedule. Whether you're working from or learning from home or working from home or in school every day, face-to-face with a teacher, set a schedule for your child as soon as they get home, and you can write it on whatever memo pad you have so that the kid knows when they get home, it's homework time or bath time. Then we can watch TV and play some video games. Set an hour to it, set a limit to it. So list your hours, list the activity. If it's family time, block off that family time and create a routine and a schedule so they'll know what to expect when they come home. In addition to a roadmap, you're gonna need a compass. Now, people don't really use compasses that much anymore, but your compass might look like this. This is my planner. If you can see my screen, I keep a yearly planner. I love a planner. If I lose my planner, it's like me losing a compass. I don't know if it's north, south, east, or west if I lose my planner. If you have a phone or a tablet or a computer, you have a calendar app in here. If you're a visual learner like I am, I like colors, I like pictures, I like to write things down because if I see it in my own handwriting, I'm gonna remember it better. So my calendar is coordinated based on colors. So I have my work things in black, my not work things in blue. I have appointments in here from dentists to doctor's visits. I even have my birthday right here on the 20th. It's in pink if you can see it. Ooh, wow. So, I put everything on my calendar. So I make sure my calendar is always where I can see it. If you see, I have my clips. So it keeps me on today's, it keeps me on today's month. I also clip the month ahead. And because we're in school and we know important dates like report cards are coming out, we know when 9 weeks are ending, put that in your calendar. Especially we have a planning day coming up. So that means if you send your child to school on the 16th, you weren't looking at your compass. You weren't looking at your roadmap because we got to make sure that we know when the planning days are, when the weather days are, and when all the holidays are. Another thing for your compass, your focus account. Every parent has a focus account. If you do not have a focus account, you can go to duvalschools.org and create one. Your school can walk you through it step by step. All you have to do is make a quick call. They'll walk you through it if you have no idea how to do it, but I guarantee you your student does. Every student has a focus account. You can see their schedules, their grades, even their assignments that they've turned in or haven't turned in. Through Focus, you can also find a link to contact your child's teacher. So if you have any concerns or any questions, all you have to do is simply click that teacher's name and it takes you right to their email address. So please, please, please make sure you use your compass, use all the resources that are available to you. Protective gear. Every decent explorer knows that you have to have some protection when you're going out on the field. That's your binoculars, your hat, your camouflage, all that. But for us in the time of a pandemic, we have to make sure we have a mask and hand sanitizer. All right. You have to wear your mask the proper way. Some people put it on their chin. Some people make it with their nose out. That defeats the whole purpose of a mask if you don't wear it correctly. You can even go the extra mile and get a face shield. However, please, please, please know that if you decide to put on a face shield, that does not mean you can't wear a mask or that you don't have to wear a mask. The face shield is simply to guard your eyes. People who wear glasses, we tend to have a little bit more of a protection advantage from particles entering our eyes. But if you don't wear glasses, that's what a face shield is for. Now you might say, oh, this is uncomfortable, but hey, I would rather be uncomfortable than to be sick. So please, please, please make sure you have your protective gear. Hand sanitizer comes in all shapes and sizes. Keep one. They even come with cute little lanyards that you can attach them to your book bags. Drop one of these in your kids' book bag so that they're always remembering to put on hand sanitizer in the case that they can't get to the restroom and wash their hands. When you do wash your hands, make sure you do it for 20 seconds. Hum the birthday song, whatever song you like, the chorus of it. That'll get you your 20 seconds really well. First aid kit. Now, when you think of a first aid kit, what do you think about? What should be in a regular first aid kit?
A Band-Aid.
Band-Aids, right? Band-Aids, maybe some ointment, maybe some alcohol to clean up. They help with your wounds. Like when you trip and fall or something happens. All the time when we trip and fall, it's not necessarily a physical hurt, right? What if we bring home a test grade that's not so good? Or if we bring home a quiz that might not be an A or a B that mom and dad want, all right? This is where your first aid comes in from a parents, all right? One thing about it is that we have to make sure we focus on the positives. In the parent guide video that we saw, it talked about making mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. If you know you studied and you still didn't bring home a grade that you might have wanted, you didn't bring home the A or a B, you know what to do for next time. Now, if you didn't study, that means you didn't use your compass and your roadmap and you didn't plan for that test ahead of time. If you utilize these things, and I put it in my calendar that my test is on Friday and it's already Tuesday, that test can't catch me off guard, right? But if I don't put it in my calendar and I get to school on Friday and my teacher's like, hey, put everything away, take out your pencils, get ready for this test, you're gonna be like, oh my God. You're gonna need a bigger first aid kit than what we packed in our survival bags, all right? So a reward system for your students. And students, you can even reward yourself. If you set your goal and put it on your memo pad, pass tests with either an A or a B. If you accomplish that goal, reward yourself with something. In some of the bags, we have some bits of candy, but rewards don't always have to be sweet. Maybe parents, you can give 30 minutes of extra TV time, 30 minutes of extra video game time. Do a craft together. My handy dandy binoculars was a craft that my daughter did. She's in 5th grade. So she's also an elementary school baby too. Do crafts together as a family. Come up with a new hobby. Maybe prepare your child's favorite meal as a reward system. Food is always my reward system for myself. So I make sure that if I get all my goals accomplished that are on my memo pad for that week done, I might say, hey, I'm going to treat myself to some takeout. All right. So always, always, first aid kits are motivations. Don't focus on the negative, focus on the positive when it comes to your child. Encourage them because they have a lot going on in their plates. They have a lot going on in their minds with the state of this pandemic. So what we don't want to do is say, hey, don't do that. Or, hey, how could you bring home those grades? Focus on the positive things or say, hey, what can we do next time? Should we study a little bit more? Should we have prepared more? Those are the things you have to ask. And your adventure pack. This adventure pack is huge, all right? And so are some of those book bags I see the kids lugging down the hallways at schools. So what we don't want to do is see the book bags that are flat. We need our book bags to have supplies in them. So in your adventurers pack, you have to have your pencils, you have to have your highlighters, you have to have your pen and your paper, your rulers, your calculator. You have to come to school prepared, okay? If as adults, parents, if we go on our job and we might have a staff meeting and we just show up to the staff meeting with ourselves and a smile, your boss is going to look at you like you're crazy. Or even worse, say, oh, excuse me, I need to go back to my office to get my roadmap and my compass, my pen and my paper and my adventurer's backpack. That's not a good look. That's not going to look good. So what we want to make sure we do as parents is to have our children prepared. If I've been going to math class every day, it's October, school started in August. So I know my teacher is going to say, hey, take out your math book, get out your pencil and paper. If your child is shuffling in their adventurer's backpack, getting out their supplies, they've already missed the first 10, 15 minutes of whatever that teacher had to say. And the first 10 to 15 minutes of any teacher's lesson is key because it's either reviewing old information or introducing new information. So make sure as soon as you sit down in your desk, your pen and paper is ready or your pencil and paper is ready. You might need to wait on the teacher to tell you which page to turn into the book, but everything else should already be out. So encourage your child and make sure they come prepared. You have to be prepared. And plus, a teacher who notices that a child comes prepared, they tend to like that a lot better. They say, oh, you come prepared? Good on you. There might be incentives in store for that child if they do come prepared. And your travel diary. This is one of the last things that we'll find in our packs, but it won't be in your child's pack. Your travel diary is your parent notebook, all right? So all you have to do is you can get a folder, you can get a binder. I prefer a 3-inch binder, but for all purposes for tonight, I'm gonna show you guys a folder. This is your parent folder. This folder, parents, is what you're gonna put all your records in, all your child's physical records, their shot records, a copy of your ID, registration forms. If they're in any type of extracurricular activities or after school programs, this is where all your documents go. That way, when it's time for them to re-register or register to a different school, all you have to do is go find your folder or your notebook and bring it with you to the school because all of your information is right in there. Educational documents. If your child has an IEP or a 504 plan, keep copies of that in your parent folder. So that's your travel diary. You keep a running record of everything that your child has done from the time they entered school until the time they graduate in high school. You keep everything right here. The school, of course, should have those records, but you always have to cover your own bases when it comes to your child. Keep them handy for yourself. In addition to shot records and educational documents, your parent-teacher contact log. We told you previously about how you can click on focus. The teacher's name gives you a direct link to their email address. If you send email correspondence back and forth with the teacher, print it out, put it in your parent log. That way you'll have a running record of every time you've talked with a child's teacher, every time you've not heard back. So worst case scenario, you have to go in for a administration conference with the school's principal or vice principal or a guidance counselor. You can say, well, hey, I've reached out to the teacher on all these occasions because I have the receipts in my parent folder. Nothing has come of it. Or what can we do? So all of your records will be in here. It's better to show up with a thick folder than to come into a conference empty-handed because you won't have pretty much any proof but word of mouth. But if you keep the receipts and put it in your travel diary, you'll have it locked and loaded every time. Also, if you have more than one child, the great thing about having a parent folder is that you can separate the child either by school or by grade level by using tabs. So you can get little dividers for your notebook. So if you have a baby in elementary school and a baby in high school, you can keep them both in the same parent notebook, just put a divider in the way so you can be a little bit more organized. All right. So make sure we have a very, very good email address for you. So in the chat, and if you're watching us via YouTube, make sure you put it in the comment section, your first and your last name, along with the very good email address for you that we can keep in contact with you and make sure you have all the information you need, or if you have any additional questions. I'll also drop my email address in the chat just in case you come up with some questions for later. But now I'll open up the floor to any questions you might have based on what you've heard, anything that you've heard that you might have already done, or something that you are doing, or something that you'd add to your survival kit. Anybody? Nothing? You got it. You have all the things you need to survive? You think you got it? So give me at least one thing that you weren't doing that you'll probably do from now on.
Keeping a log.
Yes, always keep a log. I taught in the classroom for about 8 years before I started with the I'm a Star Foundation. And one thing that I loved, well, I did it on my end too, but I loved when my parents came with everything. And it was really good, and it helped with correspondence versus if they came empty-handed, was saying, well, why does my child have this grade? Well, I have my teacher's folder with everything that I've sent home. So also, especially in the elementary level, check your kids' backpacks every day. And if you don't check it every day, check it at least on Wednesdays and Fridays. Because 9 times out of 10, either the teacher's sending something home. I'm not sure if they still have the daily agendas, but check that so you'll be on top of what goes on, just in case they send home a flyer, like we sent home in our bags today, or if they have any other announcement from the school.
Ms. Dawson, I'd just like to say that it was just fun watching Ranisha, because as you were pulling everything out of your survival bag, she had her survival kit. Hold your survival kit up one more time, Ranisha. I can't see the other students, but yeah. So you make sure you use everything in that kit that we gave to you.
And it's also a good idea to have some of the same supplies at home that she has in school. So I keep a set of pencils and rulers and paper at the house, of course, and then my daughter takes her set to school. So just in case, supplies tend to sprout legs and get traded and passed to classmates who don't bring supplies, I always have a spare at home. So when it's homework time, you don't ever get caught off, well, where's your pencil? Well, I don't have a pencil. And as adults, all we keep are pens. So, you have to make sure you have your extra supplies at the house as well.
We couldn't see Miss Roberts. I do see Simone. Miss Roberts, do you have any questions for Miss Dawson? Okay.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Ms. Dawson, and we really enjoyed that. See, I'm taking my notes from every presenter. I can always learn. Thank you so much. And now we're just gonna wrap it up with by informing you of a few important dates. You probably already know these dates, but they will help you carry out and travel the path that Ms. Dawson has talked about. Don't forget that that's Thursday. Can you believe it? You have already completed 9 weeks, one grading period. October 15th, the grading period ends. What does that mean? That means that, stop what you're doing now and check your child's focus account to make sure that they have no missing assignments so that you can get them in. Because you watch this, see, you'll know. At least the teacher won't say, oh, it's too late. Not too late. Hurry. And you'll have tomorrow and Thursday to hurry up and get those missing assignments in. Contact the teachers because they're so cooperative, and see what you can do to be sure that your child is successful. So the grading period ends. You are so great. You are into the grading period. And October 16th, get a day off. No school. It's a planning day. And then you get a chance to start again using some of these skills that we talked about tonight. Second 9 weeks begins. And October 16th, we won't have the fair to hold over their head this year. But anyway, October 26th, we get those report cards. So keep in mind those important dates. Don't go anywhere, parents. Just want to let you know, we want to take a little poll to be sure that we met all of your needs. And the most important thing, if you like me, I want to be in that drawing for that gift card. So hang around parents for just a few more minutes. And while Ms. Burney is getting ready to come to you about that poll, I just want to take this opportunity to once again thank our host school, Carter G. Woodson, thank the principal, Ms. Sylvia Embry, and also thank the liaison, the counselor, Ms. Tamika Bright, for working with us. And we can't go anywhere without thanking Ms. Evelyn Kennebrew, our administrative assistant who keeps everything together for us and keeps us together. We appreciate you, Ms. Kennebrew, as well as Ms. Carla Jones, who is our media guru who keeps us on track. So thank you, Ms. Burney. Now we're gonna get that poll going. So be sure we met all the needs of all of our parents.
Okay, so I'm going to put a poll up, and everybody, you can vote on the poll. The poll is very simple. So the poll is up, and it says, tonight's meeting was informative. I'm going to launch the poll, and it says tonight's meeting was informative. You can agree or disagree. Can you go ahead and vote? All right. Okay, I think so. We have good agreements. Okay, and then I'm going to put up another poll that I'd like for you all to take a look at and answer for us. This next poll has to do with whether or not you will apply what was learned to help your child. Ms. Dawson gave some wonderful information. So did Ms. Victoria. We had Ms. Norman to give you information, and we had that wonderful video. So I'm going to launch the poll. Will you apply what you learned to help your child? Everybody can please vote. All right. And we only have 2 more questions. Now, our next poll has to this, we're talking about making sure that your child gets help during the pandemic. I know that this pandemic has been rough. It seems as if we've been in it forever. Ms. Evelyn said today, nothing lasts forever. So we know that we'll be out of it soon, but sometimes it may get a little rough for children. If your child needs help dealing with this pandemic, just give us a yes or a no. And I'm going to launch the poll. Okay, so for those of you who did say yes, if you would share that information with Ms. Victoria, she will contact the parents, even those who are on YouTube who can't participate in the poll, but Ms. Victoria will share. And if you were one of those parents, then I know that we will hopefully help you to get the help that you need. I know that it's rough for children. And then the final one, Ms. Victoria talked about during her presentation, the fact that parents also need to do some things to help themselves not get stressed. So do you as a parent or as an adult on this Zoom or the ones on YouTube, we'll be seeing how we can get back in contact with you. Do you need help dealing with this pandemic? All right. So thank you so very much. And that ends our poll. So now I'm going to just give my brief remarks, and then we will have the drawing to see who is going to win that gift card. It's a $25 gift card. I am so happy that all of you joined us. For those of you who are on YouTube, we will make sure that at our next meeting, we extend the Zoom so everyone can get on the Zoom. We're so happy that the Cochran family was able to get on. We're happy that the Roberts family was able to get on. We see the Dawson family on. And so we're going to get ready right now to see who gets to win that gift card.
See? Oh, wow. So exciting.
And the winner is Mr. Rodell Cochran.
Oh!
Yay! All right. So, Mr. Cochran and other parents, we thank you all so much. I'd like to give a special thank you to the I'm a Star staff who just do great work. Mr. Cochran, we will get the gift card to you by way of Miss Victoria. Miss Victoria, can you raise your hand for Mr. Cochran to see it? Miss Victoria already knows Ranisha, so we'll get that gift card to you tomorrow, as a matter of fact, or Thursday, whichever works best. But I think that I see some of our district staff. If I see district staff, could you please unmute yourselves and just say hello?
Hello, good
Miss
afternoon,
Burney. Good
everyone.
afternoon,
Franklin.
everyone.
Oh. Hi,
So
Miss
I see-
Franklin.
Miss Franklin, Miss Hunley, thank you so much.
Sunday.
Yes,
Hey.
ma'am.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry for my late arrival.
Oh.
I was at work, but I did make it
We're so
just
happy
in
that
time.
you're here. Thank you. And Miss Tracy Hunley, do you have anything that you'd like to share?
I am just amazed. Well, I shouldn't be amazed because you and your staff always do an amazing job. And I did learn a lot tonight that I will take note of. The law was a big hit for me. That's something that I'm going to take and put in my toolbox. And then some of the other activities I'm going to practice with my grandson. So great job on the presentation, and I look forward to the next parent meeting.
All right, thank you. Ms. Monye, can you hold up our survival kit one more time? We are surviving in a pandemic. So we got our survival kit and we are ready to go. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you all once again for joining us. Those of you who are on YouTube Live, so happy to see you. I'd just like to also say to everyone, make sure you take care of yourselves. We are in a pandemic. Remember, wear your mask, wash your hands. Social distancing is critical. We want you all to have a good night and good luck as you get ready to go through the next part of this 9 weeks. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.